Algebra 1, 6-3, elimination using addition and subtraction. So we learned that we are solving systems of equations. Systems of equations are when we have more than one line on one coordinate plane. So the system of equations, you could have no solution when they're parallel. You can have one solution when they cross right here at one point. And you can have infinite solutions when the two lines are right on top of each other. We are going to use elimination to solve systems of equations, and the ones we're solving today, we were probably going to find that they are all, they just have one solution. So let's go ahead and get into this. Let's do an example. So we used substitution in 6-2. Now we're learning how to use elimination. This is a way to solve a system of equations. So here's an example. I've got 4x plus 6y equals 32 over 3x minus 6y equals 3. Now, you know you want to use elimination when you have something like this. I have a positive 6y and a negative 6y. So this system lends itself very easily to elimination. And here's what elimination looks like. I just draw a line right here and make sure I have x's lined up here, y's lined up right here, equals, and then our number here. And what I can do is I can just subtract 6y minus 6y is 0, 4x plus 3x is 7x, and plus 0 equals 32 plus 3, which is 35. So I just have 7x equals 35. Divide both sides by 7. X equals 5. Now remember, when I'm solving a system of equations, I need an x value and a y value. So if x is 5, now I plug this x back into either of these to find y. So I'm going to plug x into, let's do this bottom one here. So 3 times 5 minus 6y equals 3. Doesn't matter which one I choose. I should still come up with the same y value. 15 minus 6y equals 3. Subtract 15 from both sides. Negative 6y equals negative 12. Divide both sides by negative 6. Y equals positive 2. There's my answer. All right, let's do another one. 4y plus 3x equals 22. 3x minus 4y equals 14. Okay, so here we are. We're ready to use elimination, but we need to do one thing first. And that is, notice how I've got y over x here and x over y here. I want these to be lined up, x's on one side, y's on the other, so that we're not, I can't subtract y and x. I've got to have y and y, x and x. So I'm just going to switch these. This is a positive 3x, and this is a negative 4y. So if I just flop them, then it'll look like this. 4y plus 3x equals 22 over negative 4y, I just moved the negative, and positive 3x equals 14. Now I've got y's on top of each other, x's on top of each other, or lined up, however you want to say it. 4y minus 4y is 0. 3x plus 3x is 6x. 22 plus 14 is 36. Divide both sides by 6. X equals 6. My x value is 6. Now I just need my y value. Plug this into one of these equations here. Let's do the top one this time. 4y plus 3 times 6 equals 22. So this is going to be 18. So I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. I've got 4y equals 22 minus 18 is 4. Divide by 4. Y equals 1. There's my answer. All right, you try a couple here. 2 you tries. Negative 4x plus 3y equals negative 3. 4x minus 5y equals 5. And for the other you try, negative 3x plus 5y equals negative 11. And 3x plus 7y equals negative 1. All right, go ahead and do these two. And pause, do these two, and we'll see how you did. Go. All right, welcome back. Let's check these out. Negative 4x plus positive 4x is going to give me 0. 3y negative 5y is going to give me negative 2y equals negative 3 and 5 is 2. Divide by negative 2. Y equals negative 1. So I've got, I don't know what my x value is yet, but I know my y value is negative 1. Just pay attention to that. Y, that's the y. Now I'm going to plug negative 1 in for y. Let's do it on this one. 4x minus 5 times the y value, which is negative 1, equals 5. 4x plus 5 equals 5. Negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5. Subtract 5 from both sides. 4x equals 0. Divide by 4. X equals 0. All right, next one. It's very similar to the one we just did. Negative 3x, positive 3x, that gets me 0. And 5 plus 7 is 12 equals negative 12. Divide by 12. Y equals negative 1. Y equals negative 1 again. Let's see what x is now. Let's plug that one in. Let's plug it into the top one. Negative 3x plus 5 times negative 1 equals negative 11. So now I've got negative 3x minus 5 equals negative 11. Add 5 to both sides. Negative 3x equals negative 6. Divide by negative 3. X equals positive 2. And there's my answer. All right, let's do a couple more examples. I've got 3 more examples for this. One example we're doing together, and the next are going to be you tries. So here's something you might see. 2t plus 5r equals 6. 9r plus 2t equals 22. Now, I've got t's and r's instead of x and y's. So I am just going to say that t is going to be my x value, r is going to be my y value. And that's just how I'm just going to decide that, that t is going to be the one that's on the left, y is going to be the one that's on the right in my ordered pair. So I need to rewrite this though because t's and r's are not lined up. So I need to rewrite this so that they are lined up. 2t plus 5r equals 6, and now I'm just going to swap these two because they're both addition, and I need them the t's to be lined up and the r's to be lined up. Okay, so here I have these lined up correctly, and I have an issue here, and that is that I don't have 2t minus 2t. I've got 2t plus 2t. And so in order to make it minus, I need to multiply everything by negative 1 on one of these equations. Not both of the equations, but one of these equations. Doesn't matter which one, but one of these needs to be a negative 2t. But if I multiply this side of the equation by negative 1 and this side by negative 1, I'm okay. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the left, and everything is still okay. So when I do that, it's going to look like this. 2t plus 5r equals 6. And I multiply everything by negative 1 on the bottom. Negative 2t minus 9r equals negative 22. There we go. Now I've got 0. And then negative 4r equals negative 16. Divide both sides by negative 4. R equals positive 4. And so t is going to be my y value. So I'm going to put r. So this is t. For my x value is t. R is my y value. That's what I said here. X is t. R is y. So r is 4. Now I just plug r back in to any of these. I'm going to plug it into this one up here. 2t plus 5 times r, which is 4, equals 6. 2t, this is 20 here. So I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides. 2t equals 6 minus 20, which is negative 14. Divide by 2. T equals negative 7. And there is your answer for that one. Now on a test, you've got t and r, and you might decide that r is going to be x and t is going to be y. Depending on what the problem looks like, you might be able to make that choice. And so on a test, you might have 4, negative 7. And if it's a situation like this, then I will still grade it as correct, if it doesn't give you clues in the question about which one should be x and which one should be y. All right, u-tries. We got 2 more u-tries and then we're all done. 4x plus 2y equals 28, and 4x minus 3y equals 18. So we'll do this u-try in just a second, but I'm going to write out the next u-try too. Let's make sure it fits on the screen. The other u-try is going to be 3x minus 5y equals 11, and 5 times x plus y equals 5. So I'm going to talk about each of these and then send you off to do these on your own. This one looks remarkably like the example that we just did, where I've got a positive 4x, positive 4x. One of these needs to be negative, so decide which equation to multiply by negative 1 so that you have a negative 4x and a positive 4x. So that's how you're going to work on that one. And this one down here, you've got to distribute this 5 in here and then rewrite this system of equations, and then you can use elimination. Okay, so those are your 2 kind of setup here, hints to get these both done. And now it is time to pause and do these u-tries. Go. All right, let's see how you did. I am going to take the bottom one and multiply everything in it by negative 1. So I have 4x plus 2y equals 28, and I've got negative 4x plus 3y equals negative 18. So I switched the negative 18 to negative, 3y becomes positive, 4x becomes negative. 4x minus 4x is 0. I can write the 0 or not, doesn't matter. 5y is what I get when I add these y's together. Positive 28, negative 18 is going to get me a positive 10. Divide by 5, divide by 5. Y equals 2. And so I'm going to start setting up my ordered pair. Y is 2. Make sure you put the 2 in the y spot. Plug 2 in for y. Let's do it on this top equation. 4x plus 2 times 2 equals 28. This is 4, so I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. 4x equals 28 minus 4, which is 24. Divide both sides by 4. X equals 6. All right, and the last one, let's see how you did. Distribute this 5. And so I've got 3x minus 5y equals 11, and 5x plus 5y equals 5. All right, so that worked out great. I got a negative 5, positive 5. So that's 0. 3x plus 5x is 8x. Plus 0 equals 16. Divide both sides by 8. I'm going to ignore that plus 0 in there. X equals 2. 2. Plug 2 in. 2. Let's do this top one. 3 times 2 minus 5y equals 11. So I plug that x in for x. 6 minus 5y equals 11. Subtract 6 from both sides. Negative 5y equals 5. Divide by negative 5. Y equals negative 1. There it is. That is 6-3. Do a good job on your homework.